most strange habits of King Charles III he preferred you didn't know. King Charles III is the longest-serving heir in British history, but he is also one of the most eccentric royals ever. But did you know that this man, who waited for 73 years to become king, has some strange and shocking habits? What are these habits? Let's find out. Number 12. Iron shoelaces. From being a pampered prince to stepping onto the throne, reports suggest that he's been treated like royalty since day one. As per his ex-wife's previous butler, Paul Burrell, King Charles would want iron shoelaces every single day, just like he likes his pajamas to be pressed every night. And not just ironed. His shoelaces have to be flat out ironed. Moreover, this new biography by OMG claims that when King Charles's shoelaces start looking a bit worn, they're switched out for a fresh, ironed pair immediately. However, a royal source has thrown shade on these claims, saying the royal staff wouldn't even know how to iron shoelaces. Number 11. No lunch rule. Now, big news from Buckingham Palace is that King Charles has been diagnosed with cancer. It's quite a shocker, considering he's been religiously following his diet and exercise routine for years. The palace mentioned that the cancer was found during a routine checkup after they discovered something else, but luckily that turned out to be nothing to worry about. And even though King Charles will be taking a breather from his public duties for now, he's had quite healthy eating habits so far. He's such a health freak that he only goes for 2 meals a day. He's not into lunch at all because he thinks it gets in the way of his busy schedule. His former press secretary also spilled that King Charles sees lunch as a luxury. He just can't squeeze in. So next time you're out and about with him, you better have a big breakfast or some snacks handy. Number 10. Carries his childhood teddy bear everywhere. When King Charles III hits the road, he's got some pretty quirky must-haves, like a teddy bear to keep him company. According to royal author Christopher Anderson, King Charles, a grown-up king, would still be toting around a childhood teddy bear. Anderson also called King Charles one of the most eccentric sovereigns Great Britain has ever had. Apparently, this bear has been tagging along with King Charles since he was a toddler, and the only person allowed to patch it up is his old nanny, Mabel Anderson. Number 9. Carries his own toilet seat. In addition to his teddy bear, Anderson also spilled that King Charles likes to cart around his very own customized toilet seat. Yup, you heard that right. Anderson didn't delve into the nitty-gritty of why King Charles needs his special potty cover, but we guess everyone's comfortable using their own toilets. And well, we all know how stickler of hygiene King Charles really is. But this isn't the first time we've heard of this kingly quirk, though. Former Vanity Fair editor Tina Brown mentioned the same in her book, and apparently King Charles has got a thing for lugging about his own royal seat and Kleenex velvet toilet paper wherever he ventures. Number 8. Carries his own furniture to friends' country houses. It seems like King Charles isn't just particular about his teddy bear and toilet seat, but his whole moving house routine when he travels is something else. According to a spicy tell-all book that hit the shelves not too long ago, King Charles is notorious for having his furniture delivered ahead of him when he crashes at his friend's country house. Tina Brown, who spilled the tea, revealed that King Charles sent a whole van filled with his furniture to his friend's home a day before he arrived, with everything from his orthopedic bed and furniture to Scottish Highland landscapes to deck out his room. Yeah, you heard that right. He even brings his paintings of Scotland with him wherever he goes. Number 7. Squeeze an inch of toothpaste on brush. Living the royal life sure comes with its fancy little rituals and fuss. According to Princess Diana's old butler, Paul Burrell, King Charles's morning routine gets the full royal treatment. The king has his valets squeeze just the right amount of toothpaste onto his toothbrush every single morning. And it doesn't end there. King Charles even insists that his toothpaste comes from a snazzy silver dispenser with a royal crest. We guess when you're the king, every little detail has to be fit for, well, a king. Number 6. Specific temperature for biscuits. King Charles's culinary choices also come with its quirks, including the love for a biscuit at the end of a meal. But not just any biscuit. According to a royal insider, King Charles won't settle for anything less than biscuits at a specific toasty temperature. So the staff keeps a special warming pan handy just to make sure his biscuits hit the right heat. And just like any true Brit, King Charles can't resist a cup of tea. But of course, he's got his own royal tea rules too. He prefers his tea with milk and honey. Number 5. Talks to plants. Not only does King Charles chat with his plants, but he's been caught shaking hands with them too. In a BBC interview, King Charles also waved off rumors of him being loony, but fessed up to snooping on visitors by laying low on the floor at his Highgrove Palace. Now, some might think that it makes no sense, but it turns out it's actually good for the greens. King Charles is a firm believer that talking with the greenery does them good, and he loves getting his hands dirty in the garden and having a natter along the way. He's convinced that the trees and shrubs tune into his voice and grow better because of it. Number 4. Prefers right kind of hard-boiled eggs. In a book from 2006, it came out that the king would have 7 eggs boiled so he could pick the perfect one. The rest? Well, they probably ended up in the bin, which is a bit of a head-scratcher coming from a king who's all about eco-friendliness. Naturally, the palace was quick to dismiss these claims, saying it just didn't jive with the king's public character. But then another book from way back in 1993 backed up this claim. Wendy Berry's The Housekeeper's Diary gave us a glimpse into the palace kitchen drama and confirmed that King Charles's chef had to cook up a whole bunch to make sure at least one pleased the king, and the rest sadly met their yogi demise. Number 3. Carries his breakfast box everywhere. According to Chef Graham Newbold, King Charles's breakfast spread is as lavish as it gets. It includes homemade bread, a heap of fresh fruit, and unique fruit juices. And King Charles always packs his own breakfast box wherever he travels. His box is loaded with 6 different honey types, fancy mueslis, and all sorts of special treats he's very particular about. Number 2. Spends a lot of time in his wardrobe. Right from his early days, King Charles has been all about classic suits, ties, and snazzy dress shoes. And now, in his golden years, he's earned a rep as one of the slickest dressers around. Because King Charles isn't just about looking good, he's all about looking consistently flawless. From his sharp double-breasted suits to his perfectly folded handkerchiefs, King Charles never misses a beat. So, to maintain the rep, the king doesn't just stick to one outfit a day. Instead, he swaps his look a neat 5 times daily. And when he struts out of any of his 6 palaces, he's got a whole entourage with him. A butler, a couple of valets, a private secretary, a chef, and even a few bodyguards. Number 1. Did not know what cling wrap is. According to Tom Bower's book, Rebel Prince, King Charles had a rather comical encounter with cling film. The story goes that he reportedly shrieked the first time he saw it. And Prince Philip wasn't exactly thrilled about King Charles's little tangle with the cling film, thinking it showed just how out of touch he was with the real world. Luckily, Queen Camilla saved the day. She calmly explained what the peculiar plastic wrap is. The Guardian first shared this hilarious tale, but Clarence House kept quiet while King Charles's legal team shut down the claims in the book, saying they were not true. And that's a wrap on King Charles III's eccentric habits. Which of these surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more intriguing content. Stay tuned for our next exploration into the world of royalty.